Leftridge, along with my co host, Isabel Camacho Black. And we have a very special guest on this episode of From Felon the Fabulous. She's actually the brainchild of this whole TV show. She's none other than the professor of change herself, Miss Brenda Ringwood. We're glad you guys are here today because we want to tell you something that is very important that we want the world to know. You can go from felon to fabulous, and it's all about the mindset. And that's why this show is created. This show is created to help you renew your spirit and renew your mind so that you can go from felon to fabulous. Now, Izzy, why don't you introduce our guest for the evening? Give us some information about her, and let's jump right into why we're doing this thing.
Well, we have the professor of change, Brenda Ringwood. Um, she herself is a felon to fabulous. So if you don't know her story, I hope that you take the time to find it and listen to it because it is truly fabulous. So, Brenda, I want to hear a little bit more from you. Why are you so passionate about giving felons an opportunity to tell their story?
That's a very interesting question. I got fed up. Bottom line, I got fed up with the way people think about a felon, the way people think and stereotype what was going on with myself absolutely made me angry because I did my time and I have changed. I am not that same person anymore. And because I went through the necessary steps to make that change, just like an alcoholic goes to AA or NA for drugs, there's those steps that you go through. And it took me years. It wasn't just an overnight thing. It was years of inward change. And I did it just to be slapped in the face by people who said, do you know what she did?
Oh, I bet there's tons of stories to tell about the stigma that comes with going through something like that in your life. I come from a background also of people that I love in and out of the system, being incarcerated. And as a juvenile, I was in and out of the system. I did have an opportunity to also work on the other side, as you know, as a corrections officer. So I got to see the other side of it also. And I got to see all the judgment that was being placed on these people. What I saw was people who some made a mistake, and for some, they were in a cycle and they desperately needed people to believe in them and just lift them up because, like you said, change is out there for everybody. You just have to want it. So how does somebody know if they're ready to be on the Felon to Fabulous show?
It's just a mindset. It's not about making a lot of money. So if you're in the world and you're still using drugs, obviously you're not fabulous yet. But if you are out of prison, you are off of probation, off of parole, and you have a job and you have things under your belt, like you're living on your own, you're not receiving help from anybody, you're back in good relationships with your family, you are actually living life being a productive member of society, that you have changed, you have turned away from the actions that used to be criminal. And because you're not doing that anymore, now you have a fabulous mindset. So anybody, criminal or not, can make a lot of money. Okay. But when you change that mindset to be free, and hear me out, free, the freedom to be who you want to be, because felons are locked up physically. And then when we come out, we're locked up mentally because of the way that we're treated. So we feel that we're not good enough. We don't have a value. And I'm here to tell you that you do. You have a value. And this is exactly why we're doing this show, is because the public and the people that have been to prison need to see this. They need to see it.
Right. Absolutely. I think what you just said is really the onus of why this show is so important, because you can do your time for your crime and get released, and you come back out into society and you're still labeled as a criminal. You're still treated like a criminal. You're still looked down for the thing that you did before you did your time. And for many ex-cons, felons, they want to come out hoping for this fresh start, but then they get slapped in the face with the reality that some people are only going to look at you how you were then. They're not going to look at you how you are now, and they're not going to give you the chance to become the best version of yourself in the future. That's why this show is so important, I believe. And knowing you, Brenda, the way I know you believe in redemption. I know you believe in forgiveness. I know you believe in second chances. And the whole ideal behind From Felon to Fabulous is to see our felons get that second chance and really become the best version of themselves and become fabulous, whether that's financially, whether that's emotionally, whether that's spiritually, whatever it is that they can become fabulous or how they want to become fabulous. We want to help them each and every week to do that. So Brenda, what type of people are you looking to have as guests on the From Felon to Fabulous show?
I am looking for people who have a changed mindset, that they have overcome that breaking point, that they've realized that, you know what, I've done my time. I'm not that person anymore. I have made great strides. I'm proud of myself. And I need to let people know that it's okay, that I have a value, I have a purpose. Not only do I have those things, but I'm ready to tell the world about it. And it's not about the fabulous house and the cars and all of that. It is about overcoming. It's the mindset of change that when you come to that point, when you say, I'm really not that person anymore, that's the people we're looking for.
I love it. And Izzy, you worked for the system. I worked for the county for 10 years as a child advocate. So I worked with juveniles as well as adults. Why is it so important to hear about these systems, what the system needs to do to help felons become fabulous?
Right. So the reason why I believe that it's important is because without reformation, without people having hope and knowing that they're worth something more, they come out of the system more broken at times. So it's all, of course, they have to want the change, but I do believe that there can be a culture built within, and so that they have a better chance, right? So when I was a corrections officer, one thing that I would do for the inmates is we would read passages in the Bible and share. We would take them for the night, and then the next day when we'd see each other, we would all share a story of how that passage, what it meant to us, and how we could apply it to our life. And we all shared that story, and I just wanted them to know that I was just as human as them. I'm out there, but I still have my own things that I'm challenged with. So I still have to put in the day-to-day where it's nothing different except for we're in two different circumstances. But likewise with me, with them, whatever we want to accomplish is just right there. We just have to sometimes we just need somebody to believe in us. And sometimes those people are only the people on the other side of the system, because some of these people don't have families or people to care.
She's right about that.
Yes, that's very well said. You know, there's an adage that says it takes a village to raise a child. Well, that same adage applies to formerly incarcerated citizens. It takes a village of support as they move out of hell back into society where they need that help. And each and every one of you watching the show, you could be doing something to help that formerly incarcerated citizen. And every person that we have on this show in some way is going to bring some tools, some tips, some strategies, some advice, or some words of encouragement to help felons become fabulous. So we hope that you will continue to tune in to each and every episode of From Felon to Fabulous, because it's not about where you were, it's about where you're going. And it's about the mindset to help you get there. If we can help our formerly incarcerated citizens come out of hell with the mindset that they are going to elevate to the next level of their greatness, then we are doing what we have been charged to do to help these felons become fabulous. So now, Brenda, if they want to get in contact with us, whether if they want to be interviewed for the show or if they just want to help some of our formerly incarcerated citizens, what should they do?
Go on over to our website. It is From Felon to Fabulous, T-O, from Felon to Fabulous.com. And there's a contact us form on there. We want to hear from you, either if you want to be on the show, if you need coaching. See, that's the thing. We are taking this to the next level. We have From Felon to Fabulous coaching to help you change your mindset. And it's very inexpensive. These things are designed to help you. And quite frankly, even a year ago when I was preparing for becoming the best you, I was not ready to be From Felon to Fabulous because I was still doubting myself. So therefore, I created BTBY. Instead of talking about the prison life, I just talked about change. And I had something happen to me just not but a few months ago. And I said, enough. It's time to talk about it because you are not that person anymore. And that is why we are doing the show now. But that is also why we want to hear from you. If you need coaching, if you want to be on the show, go on over there. There's already, we don't have any episodes up yet, but there are already some, I would say prison reform episodes on there that were on YouTube that I started over 2 years ago. There are people that have received pardons on there. There are wardens, police chiefs, families of those incarcerated, previously incarcerated, correctional officers. It is the whole gamut of prison reform. Everything that touches incarceration is on that show. There is somebody there that you could resonate with. That's going to kind of give you a little bit of an example of what the show is going to be about. But we are now taking it to the next level with the show and going to share stories of hope and encouragement of what they went through to get to where they are so that you might be able to do the same thing.
Absolutely. It's not about where you are, it's about where you're going. And we want to help you get there so that you can move from felon into fabulous, where you can move from incarceration to elevation, and you can begin to live the next chapter of your life and make it the best chapter of your life. So go on over to our contact page at www.fromfelon2fabulous. Fill out that contact form and someone from the team will get back in contact with you. And who knows, you might be sitting on one of these seats as a guest on From Felon to Fabulous. Remember, it's all about the mindset. Izzy, any last words you want to say before we end this episode?
Well, we believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself. We can't wait to meet you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And with that, that's a wrap. So we'll see you on the next episode of From Felon to Fabulous. But go on over to that contact form, www.fromfelontofabulous.com, and we'll see you on the next episode of From Felon to Fabulous.